Shakes Rampedi here. It's another show. Guys, abahambe. Let's go.
That's how it goes?
They keep asking about the best when they know it's me.
Okay.
Asking about the rest when they know it's me.
Straight in, I guess.
You know it's me.
So let me tell you how my weekend started, right? It was Mamelodi Sundowns playing on Friday, and of course they lost to Esperance. The show was done for me, right? Like, it was done. I was like, I knew what I was going to talk about Tuesday night. I was just like, I'm going to talk about the fact that they lost, why they're getting tired, there's no productivity up front, did Rulani rotate enough during the season? And I had it all planned out. And then Sunday happened. Sunday, Richards Bay going up against Kaizer Chiefs, and Richards Bay winning that one 1-0. Credit to them, of course, no doubt about it. But just when you thought Chiefs couldn't disappoint you even more, they decide to go one step further. And when I say that, I mean, we've already discussed management. They're poor. It is what it is. And Kevin Johnson obviously is not the man for the job. That's fine. But the players, man, it's been a consistent thing. And I've said it before these past couple of weeks. They don't have any pride. And even the way they're playing, it's if their future is already secured at Chiefs. It's almost if I'm going to be here next season. I'm just guys, that's not how it works. That is not how it works. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to play a game with you guys. Yep, let's play a game. I'm going to probably say 90% of you guys are going to agree with me. Who should go and who should stay? The Ruthless Edition. I brought the list here. All right, starting off with the goalkeepers. Brandon Peterson out. I don't think he's the man for it. I don't think so. Bruce Vuma, you can be a number 2, but I don't think you're the man either. So you definitely want to be a number 2. If you're not going to start games, you can leave. Bontle Molefe, can you go out on loan? That would be great. Itumeleng Kuna, thanks for everything. Out. Msimangwa, there's definitely a player there. No doubt. That's a defender's. Next on the list, Quinika. It's been a pleasure. I think Quinika needs to go. No doubt about it. Edmilson Dove. There's a player here, but it's so inconsistent. And I'm just going to say, Dove, you can probably stay for one more season. The Clockwork being the best centre-back, no doubt about it. And I'm so sorry this club has wasted your time, but you definitely need to get out of here. Aiden McCarthy, he's already in his 20s, and he hasn't played. He's definitely got to go out on loan. Let's go next. Mashiane, stop wasting your time. Out. Shanti, out. Riff Rosler, I can't believe the stagnation. This guy's not getting any better. What's going on? Is he left back? Is he right back? Man, this club has wasted your time, man, because they don't have a direction, but you stay. Dylan Solomon's at speed, and I don't think there's anything else. Out. We got Spongiseni Mtetwa. He just came in. There's definitely a player. I think you stay. Lucky for you, right? Yusuf Mart. Yusuf Mart out. Sitebe. Out. Castillo, I think there's a player there, but you've gone a little bit lazy. Samkelo Zwane, he's 22. He should have been playing more games. I think they also wasted his time. He should have at least played something. I definitely think he should be out on loan. And as well as for Sabelo Makadebe, out. Gone. The culture at this football club has wasted players. Look how many players need to go. Mdantsane out. Nkosimpile Ngobo out. Moegoe as well, I think he's out. Definitely out. They don't even trust you. None of the coaches trust you. Mfunda Valagazi, I hope I get to see the best of you. I don't think I will. For as long as the culture's like that. Keegan Dolly, it's been a pleasure. You hardly play. You injured. I don't even know where you are, but your fashion is on point. Pule Modi, out. Ashudu Prayer, the style doesn't suit you. Out. Potswane, out. Mdudisi Shabalala, where have you gone? You lucky you're so young, you get to stay. Gonzalez, who scouted him? Out. Ranga, out. Saile, out. Duba, because of your age, you stay and you go on loan. So, that's my assertion of the players that need to leave. Let me know what you guys think. But management, I can't wait. Man, I can't wait to see what you guys do at the end of the season, man. Because you can't hide forever. The next season is the last one, I really feel like. But those players need to go. The host of Power Sport Extra on Power FM, the biggest Newcastle fan, certified coach as well. Yes, a dog that bites, Mmaskepe Matsebane, is in the building. And I asked him straight, where would you rate the level of coaching in South Africa? Another big guest on Playing the Field with Shakes, the host of Power Sport Extra on Power FM, Newcastle's biggest supporter, certified coach, and they call him a dog that bites. Mmaskepe Matsebane, how are you, sir?
Yeah, good morning, man. I'm good. How are you, Shakes? Good to be on your program.
No, man, it's a pleasure, man. You are the one asking questions. Now we are asking you the questions, right?
I don't even know. I used to take the questions, and then I started asking the questions. So it's a bit, but because I coach a lot, I've been having to answer so many questions. So I think it's become something of a norm now for me to answer questions. It's all good.
I'm glad that you actually jumped onto that because, Mmaskepe, you're coaching, you're on radio. I mean, I've heard you in the press conference as well. That's the space of journalists, I guess. I mean, what is Mmaskepe? Is he a jack of all trades? Is he what is he?
Nah, it's just a passionate guy, man. It's you just love so many things. I keep on talking to people and I say that I don't think that you are a person who can just come here, do one thing and just die and then that's it. I think people have got many interests and people have been conditioned into thinking that you have to focus on one thing for you to actually make it or to find fulfillment, which is why people will try one thing, leave it, try another one, leave it. But I just figured, why can't you just do everything that you want all at once? And then where you find the most peace and where you find the most joy, why don't you just stay there?
I mean, I guess it's fair to say that. I know one of your passions is coaching. I mean, you post a whole lot of coaching content. I think you really enjoy the coaching aspects. I mean, how far do you want to take that, man? I mean, am I allowed to pray that one day Mmaskepe is on DSTV Premiership and we're watching him?
Yeah, I mean, why not? For me, it's about learning and teaching. So I'm a teacher by heart, even though I don't see myself teaching in a high school per se. I mean, I was still am a lecturer, so I just enjoy teaching, and the space of coaching takes me into a situation where I can deal with young people from what they love, what they enjoy, and then tap into who they really are and tap into who they want, where they want to go, and the kind of things that they're dealing with. So coaching puts me into that space. And the higher one, I always said, if coaching in South Africa was respected, I think people I grew up with will always tell you that. I always said, if coaching in the country was respected as a profession, I would take up, coaching courses.
But I mean, Mmaskepe, you just dropped a gem while we're speaking there. You said coaching is not respected, or once it is respected in this country, you'll be able to maybe go on further. Do you feel that coaching is not respected in South Africa?
In the past, I would say that it's the same as journalism. It's the same as anything that doesn't require, one to be qualified to do it. Because now everybody just thinks, no, but because I can watch a game, I can talk to a couple of players and so on, I can coach. Because I can just write lines and somebody said I'm a good writer, I can get into a newsroom and I can do it. And it goes deeper than that. There's so much that's required of you, the kind of responsibility that you have to handle for you to do that. And in the past, we saw people who didn't have the passion for this thing, who didn't have the talent for this thing. And that's why it was even a bit, what's the word? It was, people like Ruleno Moegoe in the past, it was very difficult for them to coach because you never played football at a professional level. It was very hostile for a Jose Mourinho, despite how brilliant he was, that he was always reminded that you never played the game. But because he was qualified, people could listen and understand and see that, okay, there's knowledge here and there's talent. And that's another thing that I always tell people, that coaching also you have to be talented. You know, you have to have a kind of imagination for you to be a coach. It's way more than just somebody just saying, I love football, I love being around footballers, I love being around the kids. It's talent and also the education that goes with it. Because so many, I mean, we've done coaching courses with so many ex-players who just want to do it because they just want a job or just to be around and to get back. And I tell people all the time, that's the wrong way of doing it, because you are never going to enjoy, and the people that are going to work with you are never going to get the best of you, because you're just doing it because you just want to survive, not because you love it, not because you see it as an opportunity to improve something, because coaching is that, improving something, someone, and from how your team was playing to change it, from how a young boy was behaving to improve them and make them better people.
Now, I'm gonna put you on the spot slightly. You posted a video with the Gasso Supersport versus Polokwane City. We saw what we saw. It was a lot of dooms in the air, and I think we see a lot of that. Now, as a coach, do you blame players for that, or do you blame coaches for that type of play?
I would put it on the coaches, because let me give you an example. My players don't go on the field to do what somebody else has taught them. They do what during the week we've worked on. And we've worked on, they know that when we are starting, there's got to be certain build-up schemes that we must follow. The ball must start from the keeper if it's from the keeper, and it must go somewhere. If my midfielder is going to drop, then my DLP is dropping and is going somewhere. And the fullbacks are going to move in relation to how the six or the center back is moving. And my aides are good. So that thing has been taught, has been done many times repetitively in training, to a point that it just becomes second nature to the players. That when the fullback pulls to the right, they know that they must shift together. The midfielders know what to do. The wingers know where to be, because the ball is going to go where they normally put it in training. Now, in a situation like that, there isn't even a confidence from any of the players to say, I'm going to put it down, because you can hear the coaches backing instructions from the touchline. And I suppose sometimes, just wanting to keep your job is another thing that makes it very, very difficult, where people like Dendens are struggling to find jobs in the PSL, because these are guys who are very risky, very brave, that they are going to have a team playing a certain way, regardless of the results. And they never get the kind of... Because when you look at that clip, and you look especially on the Super Sport end, there are 3, if not 4 defenders who are close together. So they're defending very, very narrow. And there are 2 or 3 situations where when the ball comes, somebody can control leaning back. And the ball is... And then someone moves to the left, and then they receive, someone moves to the right, they receive the ball, the midfielders come in to offer support, and then the keeper is also an extra man, because the keeper is there. But obviously SuperSport doesn't play like that. But I'm trying to show why the coaching becomes an important thing in a situation like that, and why the coach is to blame for something like that. Because if I was to take some of the players from that team and put them into a Pirates, put them into a cheaper United or a Sundowns, they are going to behave differently.
The thing is, I mean, you break it down really well, and I like the teams you picked, the car cheaper, and as well as Pirates and as well as Sundowns, because of course they have a distinct way of perhaps playing as well. But now, if I was to ask you, how would you rate the coaching within the PSL? Because I'm not gonna lie, we do see a lot of balls in the air. It's not like I'm making this up. We do see a lot of balls in the air. How would you rate the coaching out of 10 in the PSL for you?
I think we've got good coaches in the PSL, and I think it also shows in the product. It was, I think, at the beginning of this season, if I'm not mistaken, first game that Sundowns played against Kukuni. Coach Uta, I think, was still the coach. That was fired. And it's always surprising that teams always get to show what they can do when they play against Sundowns. And you would think that they would try to then, get that better when they play against the cheaper, against a Cape Town Spurs. But when those games come, it becomes more of a dogfight because I can't lose to someone who's on my level. But the level always up higher when they play against Sundowns. And I tweeted in that game that this is such a high quality game, stuff that you see in the CAF Champions League. And I'm hoping that teams can be able to maintain this. And there were so many people who came and said, that's the dream, but it's not going to happen because the next game that Sekhukhune is going to play, they're not going to play like that. And it's true that every time teams play against Sundowns, they bring this different style. Players bring, this even against Pirates. You see these new styles and so on. Obviously, I'm a big student of how Rulani Mokoena plays the game. This is a guy who, when you want to learn in football, I was quite fascinated when he was accused of just hoarding information and not sharing it. But I don't any time where I've had a training session and something was bothering me and I could cut a clip and send it to him and say, what do you see here? And he's always able to say, oh, no, this is what's happening. Or I could, get to watch one or two of his training sessions, the first team, and then get to learn, which is something that I've actually approached other clubs to say, can I come learn? And they said, nah, it's not possible. Or some just blue ticked. Jose, every time I've in the PSL, on my show, I've interviewed almost every coach bar the Kaizer Chiefs coaches because it's always been difficult to get Kaizer Chiefs coaches to the show. And
what did you do to them?
I don't know. Maybe one day they will come out and tell me what I've done to them. I don't know. I've never done anything to them.
Sorry, Mmaskepe, but I need to jump in there because I'm asking myself, you praised two coaches, which I also rate high. I'm not going to say they are not any bad coaches. I think they do lead the line. You spoke about Rulani Mokoena, but now the question I want to ask about him before I jump onto Jose is futuristic, like you said, he is. Rulani Mokoena, I also do believe so. But the question that I have right now is why does it look like Mamelodi Sundowns are tailing off at the end? Could he have not seen this episode coming when they stopped the league fixtures and AFL was coming on and AFCON? Could he have not seen this? Because it's fair to say Sundowns is not performing to the best of their ability.
Yeah, but there are factors for me.
Yeah.
For why things are happening the way they are happening. One, obviously, when an AFL comes in and Sundowns can say no to it, also because of the financial incentive that it comes to it, and also because they are in a space where they can play. I don't think if Pirates were the one to play the AFL, they were going to say no. Or if Chiefs were in the position to play the AFL, they were going to say no because of the exposure, the money that comes with it, and just also representing the country. That's number one. Number two, the issue of a big squad is something that we've spoken about in South Africa for a long time. But time and experiences have shown that it's not sustainable because you look at many teams in recent times that have been successful. It's not changing too much. It's not tinkering with what you have. It's playing this. Sundowns at the moment are struggling because they can't play the same team. And they can't play because they are playing so many matches, and we want to compare with a Manchester City in Europe and so on. But you look at when Bafana were playing their last game, they were playing in Algeria.
Yeah.
But I was speaking to the players and I was speaking to the SAFA communications manager, and he was telling me that the traveling amounted to about, I think, 25 hours. That's more than a day of traveling.
No, totally understand that. Two questions left. If you can answer them slightly quickly, because I've only got 5 minutes left. Jose Rivero,
Sure.
Is he getting the best out of Orlando Pirates? Yes or no?
It's not a direct yes or no answer because he's working with he's working with different players that, I mean, look at what he has managed to do with Erlebohile Mofokeng, for example. Gave him freedom quickly. Because that's another thing, that you have to first understand where a player is going to play and give you your best. Like, let me give you an example. With me as a coach, when I find a player, or when I can find a player and I can see a player and I can say, this boy is not good as a left winger. this boy is as good as a 10. This boy can be good on the inside channels, inside corridors, and so on. But the boy can feel, I'm actually happier playing on the wing. But I must show him that you're actually better here. You see? So how he has got to change how Maswanganyi is playing now compared to how, because Maswanganyi at SuperSport was playing more as a winger, or more as an 8, which was a bit different. And now he's playing Maswanganyi as a 10, just drifting between the strikers, and which is why when Kemit Erasmus was very lethal, he was playing in those spaces where you ask yourself, is he a striker? Is he a 10? Half 10, half striker, that kind of thing. So some players has managed to do it, and now you've got Sissan who has come in and has been very, very good for them at centre back.
I'm saying, so you'd say he's getting the best then?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Last question that I have.
Can get more, but so far I would complain too much.
Unbelievable. I was waiting for you to actually say that. The last question I have before I have to go quickly is where is South African football for you right now, for you, Mmaskepe? No wrong answers. Where do you feel it is right now?
I don't think we are where we should be. We are behind. We are behind because of how we train. We are behind of how the pitches are. We are behind because of how the players are taught football. We are behind because if you can go to a cheaper and so on and you look at how they do video analysis, you'd find that it's not at the right levels. And I'm just giving cheaper as an example. And how we used to in football, we are not where we should be. Teams like Pirates, Sundowns, they're using it, and because guys like Jose and what they bring, Sundowns, how they've learned and they've developed and they've played on the continent, and you've got people like Fleming as well who understand what must be done. And you look at the UEFA Champions League, the semi-finals, and you look at how we are playing. You look at the Premier League, the FA Cup yesterday, even with Coventry, and the level at which they are playing, and you look at our teams, and you are saying that if you can put a South African team into the Premier League, where are they finishing? In the bottom half. If you are putting a South African team in the Championship, where are they finishing? Are they winning the Championship? If you put a South African team in the Dutch league or even the Belgian league, are they going to be champions? You see, so that's where I'm putting it. And it's from a training perspective, it's from a technological perspective, it's from a pitch, because a good pitch improves how a player plays. And we downplay this in South Africa, like you have a good pitch, you're going to have a good product. But we don't have that. I was listening to Jude last week talking about the game, and South Africans were saying, but South African players can't talk about the game like this. But Jude Bellingham is not talking about the game like that because it just happens. It's because of the amount of football he takes in himself, the amount of football he takes from coaches, the amount of football he takes from people who are close to him and they talk to him about the game, and the coaches that he talked to. Because the jargon and those things develop because it's what I consume all the time. If I'm consuming law all the time, I'm going to put law jargon every time. Everything I see, I think of it in a legal perspective.
Sorry, man, I've got 1 minute left. I can see why you're a lecturer. Because, man, you can teach, bruh. I want to say thank you for being on this show before it cuts. I want to say thank you for what you do for the game. I want to say thank you for you being the student that you are. Keep sharing your views. I sometimes can't go as hard as you go on social media because you go straight for the jugular. I cannot sometimes. But thank you so much for everything that you do, man.
Thank you, my brother, and thank you for the invite.
No problem. Before it cuts, I just wanted to say that, and I wish you all the best with your coaching, and I hope one day you coaching in the lead, man.
It's going to happen, inshallah. Inshallah.
Who was up to par and who became our star, but also who fell short in this game we all love? Let's find out on Moegoe of the Week. The star of the week goes to an 18-year-old player that plays for Sekhukhune United. He's in action tonight. I hope he is. Aseko Tiwane, that goal against Cape Town Spurs. Did you guys see it? I mean, it had a bit of luck, no doubt about it, and the goalkeeper should have done better, but it was just so from far out in his own half. He hits it, and it goes straight in. Puskas nomination, I think so. The Moegoe of the Week, it's another referee, guys. Oh, Cedric Movali. Oh, ruined the Orlando Pirates and Amazulu game. It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing. Even the guy at the top said he's happy with the performances. He should be ashamed. Oh, man, Sidramovic, I feel you. I definitely feel you. And even some of these decisions, it's not like we need VAR. It's just simple decisions. Safa, please, can you guys fix this?
It's time for Bet of the Week. Get ready to win big by placing the right bets on the right games.
The Champions League has taken a break, Europa League has taken a break, Conference League has taken a break, but the club football continues in terms of the league games. Arsenal against Chelsea. Arsenal draw and over 1.5 goals. FC Twente against Almeria. I've gone with FC Twente straight win. Wolves against Bournemouth over 1.5. Ajax against Excelsior. I've gone with Ajax straight win. Everton at home against Liverpool. I've gone Liverpool straight win. Brighton against Manchester City. Man City straight win. Go ahead Eagles going up against Feyenoord. I've gone Feyenoord straight win. The odds 8.52. And if you have a look at Betway's social media page, they put out these small anyana bet slips. And I won over the weekend because of them on a Sunday. So I suggest you follow them. But also follow me because I'm going in. But click on the link below.
Remember to practice responsible betting at betway.co.za.
We've already come to the end of the show. Sekhukhune, Sundowns, Chelsea, Arsenal. Tonight, it's about to get nasty. But before we all do go, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you're notified for future episodes.